Hey, hi, hello! This is Sleuthy Teacher, and welcome back to another Nancy Drew playthrough. Today we are going to be playing Nancy Drew number 5, The Final Scene. I absolutely love playing this game. I am a huge theater nerd and was in many shows when I was younger. So the location of this mystery is one that I absolutely love and adore and enjoy. And as a person that also enjoys magic and magicians, the magical element of this game is also one that I greatly enjoy. So I cannot wait to share this playthrough with you. Enough talking, let's start sleuthing.
Dear Bess, remember Maya Nguyen from high school? I'm visiting her in St. Louis. We have tickets to tonight's premiere of the new Brady Armstrong movie, Vanishing Destiny. It's the last screening ever at the Royal Palladium. This place has been a landmark for almost a century. And now, in just 3 days, it's going to be demolished. I wish I could have seen the theater back in the 20s before it was turned into a movie house. All the great magicians performed here, even Harry Houdini. There's a lot of public opposition to the loss of this historic building. Rumor has it local activists are planning to stage a big protest out front tonight. The theater will be closed when we arrive, but they'll let us in since Maya is covering the story for the university newspaper. Oh boy, a press pass sure does come in handy. Maya told me she has an interesting lead, and we're on our way to interview Brady Armstrong about the controversy now. I know he's one of your favorite stars. Stay tuned. Maya always gets the full scoop. Talk to you soon. Love, Nancy.
Okay, Nancy, here I go. Cross your fingers, there's a story behind this door.
Go get 'em, Scoop.
Meet you in the lobby.
Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Is this thing on? Hello?
Think I'll go check out the snacks. That sounds like Maya. Help! Nancy!
All right, so almost immediately we are thrown into the mystery. Maya goes into the dressing room to interview Brady Armstrong, and neither of them can be found after hearing Maya scream.
Hello?
Listen carefully. If they knock the theater down, the girl goes with it.
What? Who is this? Hello? Hello?
And we could see from the lit up number there that call came from the women's dressing room.
You'll never get away with this. Do you hear me?
Hello?
And now we can see that this call is coming from the projection room.
You're messing with the wrong girls, whoever you are. She's a reporter and I'm a detective, and we don't scare easy.
This is Joseph Hughes, the caretaker. I'm looking for Brady Armstrong. He said he'd be there. Who's this? And what's all the excitement?
Brady's not here. I'm sorry, but I have to go. Something's gone terribly wrong.
Now, please try to calm down and tell me what's going on. What's your name, dear?
My name is Nancy Drew. Maya Nguyen is my friend, and she's gone. I was out in the hall when I heard her scream. I don't know how they could have taken her.
Disappeared from the men's dressing room? What makes you think she was taken?
I just received a threatening call saying if I don't stop the theater demolition, I'll never see her again.
Well, they must have taken her through that secret passageway. Holy smokes! And you're on an inside line. That call must have come from inside the building. We gotta act quick. You check out the secret passageway. I'll make sure all the exits are locked, and then I'll come find you.
Hey, you. No groupies in the dressing rooms. But since you're such a rascally fan, what would you say to a signed autograph from yours truly?
I beg your pardon?
Take a breath and pinch yourself because it's really happening. Brady Armstrong in the flesh. Star of Vanishing Destiny? Go ahead, faint. I'll catch you.
Good gracious.
Yeah. I came with my friend Maya to see the premiere tonight. I'm Nancy. Maya was just here a minute ago. Did you see her?
Remind me not to appoint you president of my fan club. So what was your friend doing in my dressing room?
Weren't you expecting her? I thought she emailed you to set up an interview for her article.
All my email goes through Simone. She reads it, she writes back. Control issues, you know? Off the record. Any message that says love Brady is just a big electronic smooch from her.
What a ripoff. If your devoted fans only knew.
Simone Mueller, CEO of my life. My agent. Focus on being wholesomely smoldering, she says, and leave the rest to me. So I do. She's been setting up Premier HQ in the women's dressing room. Haven't you heard her snarling at people on the phone?
So, you didn't hear a girl screaming a few minutes ago?
Maybe you better tell me what's going on here.
Dude, weren't you listening? She already told you.
I don't have time to explain. The kidnapper may still be in the building. I need to search this room. Do you mind?
Sure thing. How can I help?
She may still be in the building. We've got to search this place from top to bottom.
Roger.
No, Nancy. Anyway, all right, this game starts off with a bang. So we open with the game showing Maya going into the dressing room to interview Brady Armstrong, who we just talked to. Nancy goes to check out the snacks because her priorities are absolutely in the right place in this situation. And she hears a scream, she runs into the room, Maya is gone, and Brady is nowhere to be found. Very shortly after, we get a threatening phone call from the women's dressing room saying that if they knock the theater down, the girl goes with it. And so the mystery begins. So Joseph told us that we need to find a hidden passageway in this room, which can be found back behind this portrait. And here we go. All right, before we go into there, there's one other thing we need to grab, which is right up here. Because what good would a mystery in an old theater where magicians perform be if we didn't have a magic wand? All right, so we follow. Actually, let's take a look at some of this graffiti. The snake was here. And K Heart T. Oh my. We come out the other side in a closet, it appears.
I may have to cut this short, Hal. Someone just climbed out of my wardrobe.
Can't you see I'm on the phone here? This is an emergency. I'm looking for a 19-year-old girl with black hair.
Listen, sweetheart, I have a premiere tonight and no stylist for my star. So don't tell me about problems.
But this is an emergency.
I said scram.
Speaking of priorities, hers are clearly not in the correct spot. That is Simone Mueller, who Brady told us is his agent. Have a clogged sink and some things to explore here. A HerInteractive coffee cup. Super cool. All right, so let's do some exploring, shall we? Okay, so here we have the backstage area. If we go through this curtain, we will be up on the stage in the theater. I love this theater. They did such a fantastic job. It is so beautiful. The rich red colors and everything looking slightly dilapidated. It's beautiful. All right, so we're gonna get this wad of gum on a magic wand here. Go out into the lobby, and obviously we need to report a kidnapping, so let's call the police.
St. Louis Police Department.
I'm calling to report a kidnapping.
Is the kidnapping in progress?
No.
Hold on, miss. I'll transfer you to the missing persons unit.
Missing persons, Sergeant Mac Ramsey speaking.
I'm calling to report a kidnapping. No longer in progress.
And who am I speaking with, please?
My name is Nancy Drew.
Okay, Miss Drew. Now, did you witness this kidnapping?
No, but I heard it.
What exactly did you hear?
My friend went into a dressing room. I was out in the hall. And I heard her scream, so I went in after her, but she was gone.
When and where did this happen?
Just now, at the Royal Palladium Theater.
And what's your friend's name, Miss Drew?
Maya Nguyen.
Can you spell that, please?
Maya, last name Nguyen.
Age?
19.
Physical description?
She's Asian American. I guess about 5'5", long black hair.
So you didn't actually witness anything, is that right?
I heard her screaming, and I received a threatening phone call. That must count for something.
A threat. Can you describe the voice? Was it a man or a woman?
It was spooky. I think they were using some voice disguise device.
Yes. That'll make it impossible to tell the gender of the caller. Did you notice anything suspicious looking in the vicinity?
No.
No suspects. Any visible signs of struggle in the dressing room? Did your friend leave anything behind? Her purse? Anything that might have fallen out of her pockets?
No.
No evidence. Does your friend work at the theater?
No, she's a student at Washington University.
Does your friend have any enemies?
Maya? I highly doubt it.
And what business did Maya have entering the theater dressing room?
She's a reporter for the school paper. She was there to do an interview.
What about Maya's parents? Have they been contacted?
They're in Vietnam this time of year. I don't know how to contact them.
Okay, miss. I'll file this report. After 24 hours, if she hasn't turned up, we consider her a missing person and begin to investigate.
How can she turn up? She's been kidnapped.
Unlikely. With all the scuttlebutt around this demolition, this stinks of student prank.
A prank? But this building is going to be demolished in 72 hours. How can we afford to take that chance?
How do you mean?
The kidnapper must be holding her in the building, don't you think?
Unlikely. No competent kidnapper keeps their captive anywhere near the scene of the abduction. Is there anything else, Miss Drew?
Sergeant, I really don't think we can afford to wait 24 hours.
It's standard procedure, Miss Drew. Unless you can provide us with some evidence that your friend was taken by force, it's 24 hours.
Thanks, Sergeant. I'll call you back when I have the evidence.
You do that.
Bye.
All right, so we have to wait 24 hours or find evidence that Maya was taken for them to start investigating. Here we have some phone numbers. We have another phone over here. This is the ticket booth. Let's talk to another suspect. This is Nicholas Falcone.
No teeny boppers till showtime. House rules.
Have you seen my friend Maya? She's 19, 5'5", black hair. She has on running shoes, jeans, and a black shirt with butterflies on it.
And the crisis is...
She went into Brady Armstrong's dressing room and disappeared.
Good old Charmstrong. Why are women always losing themselves over him?
Who are you, his surly understudy?
Hollywood? The fantastic plastic vacuum? I wouldn't go there in a pig's suitcase. I'm Nicholas Falcone, solemnly sworn to lead the forces of Hadit and slay the dragon of corporate generica. Who are you, and what's with the doom and gloom?
I'm Nancy Drew. I was just on the phone with the police.
What are you calling them for? A little taste of your tax dollars going bad?
You have problems with the police?
It's more like they have a problem with me.
Does this have something to do with Hadit?
Haven't you heard? The battle is on. There's a human chain forming out front as we speak. But all that can wait. It's obvious you got a situation, so what's up?
My friend's been kidnapped. I've got to start searching this place.
Phew. Kidnapping? That's a high-profile tactic. Somebody means business. So what's the demands?
Suddenly, Maya's fate is tied to this theater. They said that if it gets demolished, she'll go with it.
No kidding. That'll blast those bureaucrats and corporate bigwigs out of their dream world. Applause for the cause. We need all the help we can get.
You must be joking if you think any building is worth more than a human life. And it's a lousy joke, by the way.
I'm sorry. I know you're upset, but they won't mess with your friend. They just took her for effect. It's called making a statement.
Oh, so this is just a pretend kidnapping. I never would have guessed. Maya's scream sounded so real.
She'll be okay. Trust me.
I'm not about to take that chance.
Fight the power.
Fight the power. So, yeah, there we go. Nicholas Falcone sworn to slay the dragon of corporate generica. I enjoy talking to him. He's awesome. All right, newly refurbished, the Bee's Knees. Let's play. All right, so the object of the game is to get this music note all the way over to the dancers without the other notes catching us. Oh, geez, I think I messed this up. Yep, I did. Okay, try that again. There we go. Such jazzy music for that game. All right, and here we have a Royal Palladium Theater J.J. Thompson souvenir. And just like in the last game, we also get a fantastic discovery track for this game.
This one's missing.
A missing gear. But we can look down here and see that there is one.
I can't quite reach.
And we have quite a terrifying second chance scene here if we try to get this without using our magic wand gum tool. Oops. Alright, so what you're actually supposed to do is see that it's missing, and we're going to use our bubblegum wand to grab the gear. So there we have it. The first time that I played this game, I had such a hard time finding where Joseph is. And we're gonna get to that here in a second. There's one other thing that I want to grab here. I think it's in this one. Nope, it's not. Looking for the box seats. There we are. Okay, and it's not in this one. So this game, kind of similar to Stay Tuned for Danger. There is quite a bit of exploring that you have to do in this game to find little items and pieces of information that you need throughout the game, which I personally do not mind it because I love, there, a quarter. I love this setting and this environment. I think it is so absolutely beautiful. I would have loved to get to perform in a theater like this back when I was in theater. It's beautiful. Even falling apart and being kind of somewhat neglected in appearance, I think it's so pretty. All right, let's see if we can talk to Simone. Let's see if she's off the phone yet.
This call's priority. Try me later.
Or not. Okay. So like I was saying, first time I played this game, I had such a hard time finding Joseph. He's very, very well hidden in this environment. So how to get to him is you go up the steps, and then you have to go off to the side, and then he's behind this door. So if you don't know this door is here, it is really hard to find it. But here we have the projection booth, and this is Joseph.
You must be Nancy. The worry's written all over your face. Well, I'm Joe. I started to look for you, but then I figured better to park myself and let you find me. Any trace of your friend?
I found the secret passageway all right, but no sign of Maya. I can't believe this is happening.
What about calling the police? There's an outside line in the ticket booth.
Thanks, but I already tried that. Standard procedure says I'm on my own for the next 24 hours.
Standard procedure?
I mean, I understand the police can't go chasing after every kid who gets lost at the mall, but this is different.
But this theater's gonna be torn down in 3 days. Did you tell them that?
They say it's unlikely that the kidnapper would keep her in the building.
Well, I checked all the outside doors, and they're locked up tight. Only folks who've been in the theater all day are Brady and Simone, you and Maya, Nicholas Falcone, and myself.
How can you be sure?
Well, I've only got this one pair of eyes, so I can't say 100%.
Are you counting yourself as a suspect?
I was up here in the projector room, sound testing for the premiere. But I'd be disappointed in your detective work if you didn't put me through the ringer like a regular suspect.
Sound testing. Yeah, I think I remember hearing you practicing your MC voice now that you mention it.
I reckon if the kidnapper wants the demolition stopped, they must be keeping Maya somewhere in the building.
Right, I agree. That's why I'm gonna turn this theater inside out until I find her.
That's the spirit. Now, what's your plan of attack?
Time to start searching. Can you give me a map or some blueprints of this place?
Try calling county administration. The records division keeps that type of stuff. I bet a blueprint would show secret passages that even I've never found. Ask for the original plans, not the ones from the 56 remodel.
What was the 56 remodel all about?
J.J. Thompson, the original owner, died in 1950. His kids inherited it and decided that movie theaters were the wave of the future. Anyway, I've spent the last 40-something years finding my way around this place, so let me know if I can help.
Thanks, Joseph.
Don't let the turkeys get you down.
Good old Joseph. All right, so he is super helpful. When Maya was kidnapped, we heard his MC voice over the intercom going, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Is this thing on? Hello. So it is reasonable to believe that he is more than likely not the kidnapper.
There was a key here.
Because he was up in the projection booth. So he is going to be our helper here throughout this case. Here we have the projector user guide. One of the slides for the projectors for advertising snacks. A light bulb. Some cardigans. All right. So now we're going to continue to explore a little bit here. Let's talk to county records and see if they can tell us anything about. Let's see here. Just kidding, I think we actually need to find that number. Which means we have to explore where Nicholas is here eventually.
Nancy, what's the 411?
The 411?
Come on, Nancy. That's vintage slang. You know, the 411, the deal, the lowdown.
Oh, the information.
Exactly.
So, humans against the destruction of illustrious theaters. Tell me about it.
This theater's a spotted owl. It's a humpback whale. It's endangered. Illustrious buildings testify to our finest human hours. They should be celebrated, not bulldozed to make way for cardboard megaplexes. Need I say more?
I'm asking everyone, where were you when the kidnapping happened?
I was outside, harnessing public outrage. Ask anyone.
Do you know what they plan to build on this spot after the theater is gone?
Oh, it's very hush-hush. The name of the building firm is Wave of the Future, and the owner is some B. Thompson, descendant of J.J. Thompson, but he's never available for comment. Fishy, right? $10 says B stands for baloney.
That's not how you spell baloney.
Tell me about your relationship with the police.
All I know is they like to dig through my garbage and follow my van. Does this face say America's Most Wanted to you?
Catch you later.
On the flip side.
All right. So there we have it. A little more information there from Nicholas. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit more sleuthing. Let's take a look at some of the imagery here down these hallways. So here we have a portrait of J.J. Thompson. We have James Jehoshaphat Thompson. Born in Hannibal, Missouri, Thompson was the fifth son of Jasper Timony Thompson and Mary Tally Monroe, while the four older sons followed in their father's footsteps, serving their community as large animal veterinarians. James Jehoshaphat was a born entrepreneur and showman. the age of 6, he was already selling tickets to local boys to see one of his older brothers birthing a calf. JJ could attract an audience to almost any event. At the age of 18, he moved to St. Louis to make it big. At the age of 34, he had designed and built the Royal Palladium Theater with grand ambitions to make this theater one of the foremost venues in the country for magic acts. He had the stage specially built to attract and accommodate the masters Frank Chappell, Dizzy Noshin, Rufus Smoke and Mirrors Brown, Zagad the Magnificent, and the greatest of them all, Harry Houdini. Over the course of Thompson's lifetime, the Royal Palladium became world renowned. After his death, his children carried on the entertainment tradition, and the theater remains in the Thompson name to this day. So, The Merchant of Milano, a play by William Shaker. Not the other guy. This is William Shaker. Here we have Laurie Bryn and Ted Saatchi, Wonderful City, 1953. And another William Shaker's King Liam poster, Royal Palladium. Here we have Jake Shorewood, Nebraska. And the Royal Palladium Theater presents Lemon Birchstein's Wonderful City. Shelley Johnson as Ruth Sherwood, and Maureen McKay as Eileen Sherwood, based on the Broadway comedy My Sister. Very cool. All right, let's talk to Brady.
Any news?
Don't you want to know what Maya's article was about?
Well, I thought you said it was about me.
Well, Brady, you are the center of the universe, but actually, her article was about the theater.
Then what did she want to talk to me for? I'm an actor, not a politician.
She never told me what her angle was. I'm asking everyone, where were you when the kidnapping happened?
Me? You think I kidnapped Maya and then breezed in here just 4 minutes later? Where would I hide her? In my back pocket?
Just answer the question, Prince Charmstrong.
Charmstrong?
You know you love it. Just keep talking.
Well, I was late getting back from a haircut. This is hard for me. I think my hairline might be receding. It's miserable. Simone's gonna go through the roof.
Oh no, not the roof!
Do you mind if I take a look around in here?
Be my guest.
Talk to you later, Brady.
Cool beans.
Cool beans. Alright, so Brady was not in here. He was getting back from a meeting with his hairdresser because his hairline is receding. Oh, the horror. Alright, so that's Brady's alibi. Let's see if Simone will talk to us now.
Nancy Drew, Simone Mueller, don't worry, Vanishing Destiny is off. We've got bigger fish to fry.
So you heard about Maya?
Of course. I mean, a kidnapping? Right out of my star's dressing room? The premiere is small potatoes. It's worth more to us canceled, or at least postponed. When the news gets out, the whole nation will be watching.
I'm worried sick about my friend here, and all you can think of is another media event.
Where are you from?
River Heights. Why?
Yes, precisely. River Heights. Listen, doll, I'm from L.A. This ain't my first time at the rodeo. We'll find your friend, or Brady Armstrong will, and when he does, every girl in America will wish she'd been kidnapped instead of Maya what's-her-name.
I can't believe you. No girl wants to be kidnapped, ever.
I'm proposing a business alliance. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. We don't have to see eye to eye.
I propose you back off.
Honey, you've got spunk. Ever consider acting? This girl power thing is red hot right now. Of course, we'd have to think of a stage name. Nancy Drew is so utterly forgettable.
Joseph says the building was probably locked when the kidnapping happened, and that the kidnapper had to be someone who was inside the theater. Care to comment?
Why don't you tell that little gray troll that I think he did it? just to keep himself from dying of boredom in this old dump. That's my comment.
I'm asking everyone, where were you when the kidnapping happened?
Oh, please, Nancy, I was on the phone, doing business. But if I'm ever hard-pressed for entertainment, I'm sure kidnapping would be a real hoot.
How long have you been Brady's agent?
I discovered him on an electric spring morning 6 years ago. He was working the original Coney Dog stand on Sunset Boulevard. It was pure luck. I was craving an all-beef Frank at 7 a.m. He's been the jewel in my crown ever since.
I think your phone's about to ring.
Love ya.
All right. So this game is peak sassy Nancy. I love her attitude in this game. It is so much fun to listen to and have all of the conversations just to hear what she's going to say. So here we have some more pictures. We have Frank Chappelle and Dizzy Notion. And another plaque. The Society of American Magicians would like to thank Harry Houdini for his great generosity and tireless devotion to promoting the craft of magic. As president of the society for 10 years, Mr. Houdini brought worldwide recognition to the art and helped to foster the careers of countless aspiring magicians. We are honored to follow in his footsteps. So, nice little plaque there. The Houdini Transformation. This week at the Royal Palladium Theater, witness an astounding metamorphosis that dares to boggle the human mind. Here we have Zagad the Magnificent. All right, Harry the Master Magician Houdini. Born in 1874 in Budapest, Hungary, under the name of Eric Weitz, Houdini's family soon moved to Appleton, Wisconsin. From there, at the age of 12, Houdini ran away from home. At the age of 13, he had reunited with his family in New York City and had begun performing magic tricks under his original stage name, Eric the Great. In the course of his illustrious 33-year career, Houdini escaped from prison cells, handcuffs, leg irons, straitjackets, packing crates, milk cans, coffins, and St. Louis tycoon J.J. Thompson's infamous watery grave. In addition to being the greatest escape artist of all time, Houdini was also a master of illusion. In 1918, at the Hippodrome in New York City, he made an elephant disappear on stage, and according to Houdini, the elephant, Jenny, weighed 10,000 pounds. His brilliant skill and ability to baffle and amaze an audience remains unsurpassed to this day. What a guy. Royal Palladium, Sonia and Smith, Acrobatic Hijinks, Holiday Special, One Whole Month Not to be Missed, Juggy Smith and his Ragtime Band, a musical hodgepodge of laughter, special attraction, Zagad the Magnificent, also featuring Madame Lesardo, the Lady of the Night, making her first American debut in spectacular fashion only in St. Louis. Royal Palladium presents the genius of escape. Harry Houdini is challenged by J.J. Thompson, entrepreneur and owner of the Royal Palladium Theater. Witness a once-in-a-lifetime event right here in St. Louis as the masterful Houdini is plunged into the watery grave and faces the most impossible escape of his career for the cash reward of $50,000. 3rd of March, 1925. Tickets are limited. So J.J. Thompson at some point challenged Harry Houdini to escape a watery grave for a reward of $50,000. Wow, that's a lot of money. Okay. I thought we could mess with this, but apparently not. All right, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna lower this down. There we go. And we will attach this to the top of the crate. We'll lift it back up. And now we can check out the trapdoor underneath the crate. All right. Alright, so a couple of things to take a look at down here. We will start with the amazing Monty. If you are not a fan of puppets or things that look like puppets, maybe just listen to this next part.
Ladies and gentlemen, step right up! Ha ha! Find the ace of spades. Keep your eye on the card.
Oh, of course not.
Oh, too bad. Try again. The hand is quicker than the eye.
Okay.
Find the ace of spades. Keep your eye on the card.
Let's try this one.
Ooh, I'm sorry. Perhaps you need your eyes checked.
Rude.
The hand is quicker than the eye. Find the ace of spades. Keep your eye on the card.
There we go.
Congratulations! You've beat the magician. Don't forget to collect your winnings.
Alright, and if you open this
Your
up,
audience will be dazzled.
we won some flash paper. It says every magician keeps some handy. You slide the flash trigger ring through your middle finger, use the flint wheel or finger flasher to create the spark, then throw the flash paper and watch as it ignites. Your audience will be dazzled by the bright light and puff of smoke. Great for theater special effects, disappearing acts, or anytime you need to throw someone off your trail. Caution, flash paper is a pyrotechnical device and should not be used by children without adult supervision. So that's pretty cool. Won some flash paper. All right, and now we're gonna go over here and open this up. Oh, and then I went too far. And just like Monty's game that we just played, we want to get all of the spades showing. And that will open this up. So now we have a little puzzle. So mechanics for this are very similar, I should say, to the mechanics for the note puzzle in Stay Tuned for Danger. So let's get all these turned around. Go. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's see here. Okay, put this here. There we are. All right. We need a little more hair here, which I believe is that. Put this here. All right, there's that side done. That, I believe that goes there. There's the rest of your hair. Nope, not that corner. This corner. There we go. That goes there. This goes here. Give this a turn. All right, there we have it. So now we're gonna put our 2 gears in that we found. Give it a turn. And we have found a key and some papers. It says, Dear Mr. Houdini, congratulations on your latest unbelievable feat. Never have I seen the crowd at the Royal Palladium so enthralled by a performer. Stupendous. Honestly, I was assured that the watery grave was inescapable, even for a master such as yourself. Really, if I had had any notion of risking my money, I may not have offered such a grandiose reward. After all, what man is made of money? Isn't that right, Mr. Houdini? My point is, well, I must admit that my cash flow is a little tight at the moment. More specifically, I do not have $50,000 to give you at this time. The theater is young, but is bound for glory, I'm sure you'll agree. And my bank account is still recovering from the building expenses. I'm sure you understand, sir. However, this letter is an announcement of golden opportunity, Mr. Houdini, not one of gloomy regret. In lieu of cash and in accordance with my lawyer's counsel, I am prepared to offer you a reward far more valuable than cash. I would like to make you my business partner by transferring 50% ownership of the Royal Palladium Theater into your name. Just think of it. Together we can make the Royal Palladium the foremost venue in the world for magic. Stupendous. Certainly a man as brilliant and worldly as yourself will recognize this as an irresistible offer and realize that there is no need to squabble over the petty details of your reward or invite the press to make a mountain out of a molehill in this affair. Please sign below and return this document to me if you agree to proceed with a transfer of 50% ownership of the theater to your name. In doing so, you will also be agreeing not to sue me or publicly defame my name. A detailed contract will follow. Stupendous! I'm looking forward to a mutually rewarding relationship with you, Mr. Houdini. Sincerely, J.J. Thompson. It says, I, J.J. Thompson, do hereby agree to transfer 50% ownership of the Palladium Theater into Harry Houdini's name in lieu of cash reward for his escape from the watery grave. This transaction will constitute a legally binding agreement that Mr. Houdini will not pursue any legal action against me or reveal any unflattering details about me to the press. And he signed, and then it says, I, Harry Houdini, agree to accept 50% ownership of the Royal Palladium in lieu of the cash reward for my escape from the watery grave. I will refrain from pursuing any legal action against Mr. Thompson or revealing any unflattering details about him to the press. And he also signed. So, awful lot of information there. But in a nutshell, Harry Houdini escaped, and J.J. Thompson did not have the money to pay him the reward that he offered him because he did not think he would be able to escape. So instead of remaining in the hole and risking bad press, J.J. Thompson transferred half of the ownership of the theater to Harry Houdini, which means that J.J. Thompson's family, that is now getting ready to demolish the theater, doesn't have full ownership, so may not have the right to tear the theater down. Interesting stuff.
What's up? Can't talk long. Gotta check on my people.
What's your attachment to saving this theater? You seem so personally invested.
Politics is personal, but with this place, it's ultra personal. My grandma, Louisa Falcone, designed the molds for all the insane plasterwork that you see in this lobby and in the auditorium.
The detail is so intricate. You just don't see this kind of artistry in new theaters nowadays.
True, but there's more. I guess the architect-owner guy, J.J. Thompson, ran out of cash before the building was done. He never paid my grandma dime one, and then he denied that she had ever done the work in the first place.
Why didn't he give her the credit?
Yeah, she was the artist type, not a deal maker. I guess she'd never signed any contractual stuff with JJ, and she didn't have the resources to sue him or any of that. So I guess she just had to let it go.
She must have been so frustrated.
Here's the kicker. After JJ sharked her on this 2-year project, she was broke. And then the Great Depression hit. She could never afford to work as an artist again.
What did she do instead?
Louisa, Mother Serenity Falcone? She just kept on trucking in true Falcone style. Died at 97 without a bitter bone in her body. I think she had a happy life. But this theater holds the last artwork she ever did. Don't you see, Nancy? Saving this place is not just for history. It's for justice.
She should at least get credit for her work.
My family has been trying for years, but there doesn't seem to be anything on record that links her to this place. Nancy, could you do me a favor?
I think I know what you're going to ask.
While you're searching, could you just keep your eye out?
If I run across the name Louisa Falcone or anything else that might help, you'll be the first to know.
You're cooler than I thought, Nancy.
And you're smarter than I thought.
Okay, and we actually need to talk to him one more time.
How goes the search?
I found some of JJ's personal documents inside a secret panel in the basement.
Well, don't just stand there. Start breaking it down.
Did you ever hear about a challenge that J.J. Thompson issued to Harry Houdini back in 1925?
Yeah, and?
J.J. put up a big reward for this Houdini challenge. He must have thought the escape was impossible, but Houdini did it. And JJ didn't have the reward money.
What does this have to do with the ownership of the theater?
From what I can tell, JJ had to give Harry Houdini 50% of the theater as the reward.
Ha! Serves that swindler JJ right. Nancy, do you realize what this means?
I'm working on a couple of theories.
If Thompson didn't own the whole place, then whoever inherited it from Thompson doesn't legally own the whole place either.
Which means they don't have the authority to knock this building down.
We've got to find out what happened to his half of the ownership. You keep looking for Maya. I've got a laptop out in my van. I'll get online and do some research. Check back soon.
Catch you later.
Fight the power.
Okay, so now that he's gone, if I remember correctly, okay. Take a look at his brochures over here.
Nancy, it's Joseph. Wait till you see this. Come to the projection room.
Okay.
Nancy, take a look at this.
Where did you find it?
Brady found it.
Found it? Where?
He didn't say. Give the police a call, and then you better go back to your hotel and get some rest.
Just when I have a lead? No way! I've got to keep searching.
You won't be any help to Maya if you get too tired to think.
Okay, I surrender.
Go ahead and use the phone in the ticket booth. I'll be down in a minute.
All right. So we have Maya's found press pass. So now we're going to give the police a call, and hopefully this will be the evidence that we need.
St. Louis Police Department.
Missing persons unit, please.
Please hold. Missing persons, this is Ramsey.
Hi, Sergeant Ramsey. This is Nancy Drew. I spoke to you earlier today about the disappearance of my friend, Maya Nguyen.
Hello, Miss Drew. You're calling to tell me that you found your friend, I hope.
I wish that were true, sir. No, she's still missing. I'm calling to report that I have the evidence you asked for.
What did you find?
Someone else here at the theater found Maya's press pass. It was clipped to her shirt when she went into the dressing room. It must have been torn off when she was kidnapped.
Or it fell off. Or she just tossed it.
Maya is very serious about her work, Sergeant Ramsey. She never goes anywhere without that pass, and she would not willingly leave it behind.
Is the pass damaged in any way?
No.
Was anything disturbed in the area where it was found?
I don't know. I'm not the one who found it.
Okay, well, thanks for checking in, Miss Drew. If Maya hasn't turned up by tomorrow, we'll definitely be out to investigate. Someone will take a look at the press pass then.
But you said that if I found evidence, you'd investigate the theater today.
I'm sorry, Miss Drew, but we can't go chasing after every kid who decides to take a leave of absence. The vast majority of missing juveniles disappear of their own accord, and they reappear when they're good and ready.
You have to believe me. Maya would never play this kind of game. Nicholas Falcone said he thinks somebody is using her to make a statement.
Nicholas Falcone? Is he involved in this? Are you involved with him?
Haddett is demonstrating against the demolition in front of the theater. Nicholas has set up shop in the lobby. I've spoken to him. I'm not involved with him.
Are you aware of the allegations against Mr. Falcone's character, Miss Drew?
Allegations?
Nick Falcone operates according to his own rules. He'll do just about anything to save a theater, and he's not afraid to use extreme tactics.
What kind of extreme tactics?
You name it. Vandalism, sabotage, chaining himself to demolition machinery.
Is that right?
And last year there was a situation over in Nashville. Just when the oldest theater in the city is about to be torn down, and mind you, Haddett is there in full force, a girl goes missing. So happens she's the daughter of the demolition boss. They go crazy looking for her. There's a call, just like the one you described. Anyway, to make a long story short, the demolition is called off. And 3 weeks later, the girl is seen snuggling up to Falcone in a Memphis coffee shop.
Are you suggesting Nicholas is staging this thing?
I'm just saying that there's more to situations like these than meets the eye. Nick Falcone is a real operator and he likes to humiliate the police. I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon here with this whole Royal Palladium thing and let him make my unit look like a bunch of chumps.
I see.
So you aren't gonna have any credit with us if you join ranks with him.
Does he have a criminal record?
Oh, minor stuff. Disorderly conduct, trespassing, yada yada yada. but Nick Falcone can slime his way out of a sticky situation like no one I've ever seen. Unfortunately, there's no jail sentence for being a royal pain in the neck.
There are no good citizenship awards for it either.
Look, I know you're worried, but for now, there's nothing we can do. And there's nothing you can do either. Why don't you go home and get some rest? I'm sure you've had a long day.
Well, this has been very informative, Sergeant Ramsey. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Good night, Miss Drew.
All right, so there we have it. Nicholas Falcone is mixed up with all of this. The police are going to have nothing to do with it. Let's call Nancy's friends.
Hello?
Hi, Bess. It's Nancy.
Nancy, it's about time. How's St. Louis?
Something terrible has happened. Maya went to Brady's dressing room to interview him. I guess he wasn't there. She screamed, and now she's gone. I think she's been kidnapped.
Oh my gosh. Why would anyone want to kidnap Maya?
I received a threatening phone call. Somebody wants desperately to stop this demolition, and they're holding Maya as a bargaining tool.
That's terrible. Have you called the police?
I called, all right, but get this. According to standard procedure, they can't get involved until Maya has been missing for 24 hours.
What could possibly be standard about a girl getting kidnapped?
They're not convinced it's a kidnapping.
Well, how did she disappear then? Poof? Alakazam?
Sergeant Ramsey says it could be a prank, or Maya might have just taken off or something.
Sergeant Ramsey obviously doesn't know Wash U's most dedicated reporter.
It's true. The only way she would have abandoned this story is if someone dragged her away from it.
Do Maya's parents know?
They always travel this time of year, remember? And besides, I've got to find Maya before this demolition. I doubt her parents could get back from the other side of the world before then anyway.
What a mess.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been so personally attached to a case.
Call me back when you know more. I'll get a hold of George and Ned and let them know what's going on. Poor Maya. I guess the only consolation is that she's got you on the rescue mission.
All right, so that is Bess. Let's see if we can call Ned.
Hello?
Ned, it's me.
Nancy. Bess called and told me what happened with Maya. I've been worried sick.
Did she tell you what the police said?
About the 24-hour delay? Yeah, she told me. But I have faith in you, Nancy. You've solved plenty of cases before without help from the police. So let's get down to business. Who are your suspects?
It seems there were only 4 people in the building at the time of the kidnapping, besides Maya and myself. Brady Armstrong, Simone Mueller, his agent, Nicholas Falcone, a political activist, and the caretaker, Joseph Hughes.
Any hunches?
Not yet. I've got a lot of work to do.
Call me anytime. I'll try to stay close to the phone.
I've got to think of a way to get this demolition stopped.
Well, the police aren't being much help. But couldn't you try contacting the owner of the building? I'm sure he or she would be willing to postpone for a couple of days. I mean, what's the rush?
According to Nicholas, his name is B. Thompson, and he won't talk to the press.
I wonder what he has to hide.
His building firm is called Wave of the Future.
Catchy. I wonder what he has against the present.
Ned, I just remembered something. Joseph used the phrase Wave of the Future when I first met him. He was talking about the remodel of the theater in 1956. Do you think it's a coincidence?
I don't know, Nance. If Joseph turns out to be the owner of the theater and the guy behind the demolition, I think it'll be fair to say you've seen everything.
By the time I finally got to talk to Simone Mueller, she had heard all about the kidnapping and canceled the premiere of Vanishing Destiny.
Sounds like bad news travels fast around old theaters.
That's just the thing. Simone didn't seem to think Maya's kidnapping was bad news at all. She kept calling it a great opportunity. She kept saying what fabulous publicity it's going to be for Brady.
Sounds like she knows how to turn a profit in any situation.
The question is she just responding to the situation, or did she have a hand in creating it in the first place?
No flies on you, Nancy Drew. Sounds to me like your detective mind is in high gear.
Harry Houdini must have been quite a character.
What makes you say that?
Oh, it just sounds like he was so generous and passionate about his craft. Everyone loved him.
Any theories yet on what he did with his half of the theater?
No, but I highly doubt he was generous enough to give his half back to old J.J. Thompson.
That wouldn't have been an act of generosity anyway. It would have been a lapse in judgment.
Snap.
Bye, Ned.
Be careful.
All right. So now that we have talked to Ned and Bess, let's leave the ticket booth and start day 2.
I heard the whole thing, Nancy. Go get some sleep. I'll keep an eye on things till morning.
All right, day 2. And here we have a funeral wreath. It says deepest sympathy. Planning a funeral is such a dreadful pain. Wouldn't you rather just stop the demolition? So the kidnappers sent a funeral wreath as a threat of what is going to happen to Maya if she doesn't if the demolition isn't called off. It's just awful. Alright. So Nicholas is not over here right now. Let's go upstairs and check in with Joseph. Oh wait, before we go in though, let's take a look at the missing poster. So it says Maya Nguyen, last seen at Royal Palladium Theater. Birth date, address, so it has all of her information here. And then down at the bottom, it says Maya Nguyen, originally from River Heights, is a sophomore at Washington University and a reporter for the school newspaper. She was at the Royal Palladium conducting interviews for an upcoming story when she disappeared from one of the dressing rooms. One witness claims to have heard Maya scream. It's possible that she's been kidnapped. Please, if you have any information concerning Maya's whereabouts, contact one of the following: Sergeant Mac Ramsey or Simone Mueller, head of publicity, National Find Maya campaign. For information leading to Maya's safe return, Brady Armstrong is offering signed posters of his new movie, Vanishing Destiny, whose national premiere has been postponed due to this unfortunate turn of events at the Royal Palladium. Interesting. So anyone that has information on what happened to Maya, if they call it in, their reward is a signed picture of Brady Armstrong. Whew.
I'm sorry you had to see that wreath, Nancy. It's disgusting.
This is one creepy kidnapper, that's for sure.
Let's hope the kidnapper just did this to scare you.
Like I'm not scared enough? Like I don't know time is running out?
The phone's been ringing off the hook all morning. I don't know how the press got a hold of this, but they're all over it like ants on a picnic.
Where did those missing posters come from?
I can't say for sure, but I can make an educated guess.
I have a feeling you and I are betting on the same horse here.
Can you believe the way she diverted all of the attention away from Maya and used the poster to promote Brady as the big hero? This shouldn't be happening. It's all backwards.
So where will you go after the demolition? Are you planning to retire?
Greasewood, Arizona. My brother Jake is there. It's a tiny town with no movie theater, so we're gonna put one on the map. I got some money saved.
Who is this J.J. Thompson character anyway?
Old J.J. Owner, visionary, wheeler dealer. J.J. loved a magic show. He had this place built with those kind of big spectacle shows in mind. J.J. also happened to love the sight of his own mug in the mirror. You can tell by the way he ornamented the auditorium with his own head.
The history of this theater is so rich. I'm surprised the city of St. Louis isn't more interested in preserving it.
Well, they are interested. The Historical Society's been working like the dickens to get this place declared a landmark. But someone downtown has been stalling. They're awfully close.
The police told me Nicholas Falcone is known for using extreme tactics to further his political causes. Why are you letting him use the lobby as his headquarters?
Nicholas has been hanging around this theater since he was a little boy. I know how torn up he is about the theater. This'll be over soon enough, and then he'll go home. I don't think he's dangerous, for gosh sakes.
Gotta go now.
Chin up!
All right. So there we have it. Nicholas is being allowed to use the lobby as his center of operations since he grew up in the theater, which makes sense because his grandma did the artwork. Speaking of Nick, let's talk to him.
Nancy, what's the 411?
Thanks to you, the police think this whole kidnapping is a hoax.
That's all hearsay, Nancy. They got no witnesses, no testimony, no nothing.
So you have or have not used kidnapping to further your causes in the past?
I am not an eco-terrorist, and I would never orchestrate the temporary disappearance of anyone who wasn't in on the plan and down with the cause.
Maybe you'd better think about being in on the law and down with the truth, Nicholas.
All right, Officer Nancy, chill out, will ya? I'm on your side.
Joseph told me that the St. Louis Historical Society is in the process of trying to declare this building an historical landmark.
They've been in that process for years. It's all just a big wad of red tape, a bunch of bureaucratic hocus pocus. Hadit's about action, not paperwork.
Catch you later.
Fight the power.
Okay. So, let's see here. Where to next? Let's go talk to Brady and Simone. I feel like I haven't done a lot of talking for this playthrough because there is so much conversation in this game. I feel like that's really all we've done is talk to suspects with a couple of puzzles in between. This game is definitely story and dialogue heavy, but it's such a rich story I don't really mind it.
Have you seen the posters? Aren't they fabulous?
That picture of Maya is the one from her press pass, isn't it?
Yes. Thankfully, she's photogenic.
What if she wasn't photogenic? Would you be less interested in helping her?
Not necessarily. I just have to be more creative about my publicity if I couldn't use photos. Brady's out plastering those posters all over St. Louis and every podunk town for 50 miles. He's due back at any time, though, for the press conference.
Press conference?
I've invited the press here today to report on Brady's commitment to solving this case. You know, a few questions, a few photo ops, no big deal. That funeral wreath was awful, wasn't it?
You saw the wreath? Where is it now?
I had it moved out front for the press conference. We want the press to know just how heartless this kidnapper is, don't we? Then it's all the more fabulous when Brady saves the day.
I think your phone's about to ring.
Love ya.
Okay, so the funeral wreath has been moved because a press conference is going to happen. So, you have to give Simone credit. She is very good at her job. Bending and twisting what's happening to create the best press possible for Brady.
How are you holding up?
Thanks for finding Maya's press pass. Where was it?
I found it in the basement. The balcony. It was the balcony.
Balcony, basement, whatever. It's just my friend's life that's in danger here.
Please, Nancy. It's not me.
Oh, really? Is somebody operating you by remote control?
It's Simone. She's relentless. I'm just a hostage on her runaway bus.
That's funny. I don't see any gun to your head. Just a wad of money dangling in front of your nose.
It's more complicated than you think. Listen, I've got to get ready for this press conference. I'll talk to you later. Not now, Nancy.
All right. Have I said how much I love how sassy Nancy is in this game? She is peak sassy, and I love it so much. All right, so we have caught up with all of our suspects. Nothing really to explore at the moment, but I believe if we walk out into the lobby, we should be able to hear something. Maybe not. Okay, so more missing posters here.
I got the number.
There we go.
I left it in the ticket booth. This woman isn't a Houdini herself. She's the widow of one of Houdini's cousins.
Maybe she knows what's happened to Houdini's half of the theater. I'll call.
Okay, folks, we're about to get started here. Mrs. Mueller and Mr. Armstrong will do their best to answer all
Okay,
your
so now we get to
questions
listen in
the
on the
time
press
allotted.
conference.
But let's proceed with good manner, shall we?
Thank you all for coming. I'm only sorry that the circumstances of our meeting are not more festive. Wouldn't it be nice if we were all gathered here today to revel in the blockbuster success of Brady Armstrong's new movie, Vanishing Destiny? Wouldn't we all prefer to turn our attention to record ticket sales and the squeals of delighted fans across the nation. But alas, we have come together today over tragedy, not triumph. I've called this conference specifically to let you know, and I trust you will take it upon yourselves to inform the world, that Brady Armstrong will not rest. The greatest performance of his career will not be unveiled until Maya Nguyen.
Hey, lady, you're breaking my heart. But isn't her name Maya Nguyen?
Until Maya Nguyen is returned to her friends and family, safe and sound. Already, our real-life hero has searched this theater and uncovered important evidence. Already, he has driven 200 miles in a rent-a-car, no less, distributing missing posters to all the outer-lying regions of this great city. You see, Brady Armstrong is a hero and a regular guy, all rolled into one.
Ooh, I'm swooning.
Put a sock in it, Mr. Camouflage. And now, without further ado, I'd like to open the floor up to questions.
Is it true that the girl was at the theater to interview Brady Armstrong? What was the interview about?
Mr. Charmstrong, do you find your fans respond to you more in your chicken suit or in your curly wig?
Did anyone hear her scream?
Ms. Mueller, you're his agent. Chicken suit or curly wig?
Any speculation of where the kidnapper's hiding her? Where did this funeral wreath come from?
Isn't it a little unusual for a movie star to help with a kidnapping like this?
People, one at a time. Brady.
Well, with all of my experience on the silver screen, I feel well prepared to save the day in St. Louis.
Do you think that kidnapper is violent?
Mr. Charmstrong, have you ever thought about growing a mustache? It might really distinguish you.
Is it true you're offering a reward for the facts leading to Maya's return?
That's right. Autographed movie posters for anyone and everyone who comes forward with a decent lead.
Yes, is it true that that Detective Nancy Drew is on the case?
Yes, Nancy Drew is investigating.
Is she available for comment?
It's a difficult situation. You see, Maya is a friend of Nancy's, and the personal connection, well, it may be clouding the detective's judgment. She's really on edge.
Isn't anybody around here concerned about the welfare of this magnificent theater? There's more than one life at stake today, you know. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, press people, over here. If you want the real story, talk to me. Sorry, Miss Mueller, you'll have your photo op in a moment. Yeah, over here, down by my van.
All right, so that is the press conference. So now the good news is, because everyone is outside busy with all of that, now we can snoop in the areas that normally have people in them. So let's go up to Joseph's area first. Do a little snooping in here. So I have a phone up here, a crossword puzzle, some Tums. And let's see here. It says, Dear Mr. Hughes, we received your letter inquiring about the whereabouts of Jacob Hughes. Unfortunately, Jake died 6 months ago. He had been ill with emphysema for some time, but you'll be glad to know he enjoyed his cigarettes to the end and died peacefully in his sleep. We regret that we were unable to contact you at the time of his death, but we had no idea that Jake had a brother. He never mentioned any family, and our research didn't turn up any leads. Your brother was cremated according to his last wishes, and no rent was due on his room. Please contact the county coroner's office if you would like to have his ashes shipped to you. We're sorry for your loss. So Joseph said that he was going to move out to Arizona and open a movie theater with his brother Jake. But according to that letter, his brother passed away 6 months ago.
It's locked.
Poor guy. All right. So let's go snoop around in the dressing rooms. I love how swingy and jazzy the music is in this game. It's such a vibe. Alright. You are what you project, becoming the captain of your own destiny. Chapter 2, the language of success. In the last chapter, we established one of life's great truths, and the premise of this book, you are what you project. Another way of putting this is what you project is who you are. As we saw in the cases of Lisa and Dwayne, a negative attitude is a poor foundation from which to win friends and influence people. Because who wants to be around a grouch or do favors for a loser? No one! A fun little Easter egg there. On the other hand, with a positive attitude, or what we call your inner captain, the sky's the limit. The stories of Rick and Beatrice prove that you command the world. You are my oyster. Now open up and hand over the pearls. You will soon find yourself basking in fame, fortune, and popularity, standing at the helm of your own destiny. In this chapter, we'll learn how to speak the language of success, and that's not just verbal language, it's body language too. It's everything that you communicate to the world, so stand up straight, pull up your socks, and freshen that breath, because you, yes you, are going straight to the top. Before we get started, take a look at this chart to see whether you're speaking like the captain of your own destiny or the cabin boy. I'll get that for you, sir, or I'm busy, get it yourself. Minimum wage is okay with me, or there's no limit to my worth. I'm parched. I am driven to quench my thirst. I'm gonna use that. I'm hungry. I eat my competitors for dinner. What if I lose my hair? I'll make baldness irresistible. Why doesn't he have that highlighted? He said his hairline's receding. What if the door of opportunity is locked? I'll huff and puff and blow that door down. Nothing will stand between me and my destiny. Do you see how the cabin boy is ruled by fear and doubt, whereas the captain greets the world with his chest puffed out and best foot forward? Isn't it time you grabbed your destiny by the horns and sailed it into the sunset? The choice is yours, but remember this, if you're not the lead dog, the view never changes. Ready to transform your life? Read on. Then there's a little comic. Come back here and swab this deck. You work for me. Simone Overboard, Captain Brady. And what's your fashion sign? Astro style. Apparently he's a Gemini. He's the twins. You're witty, charming, clever, and sometimes mischievous. At times you can be a bit of a double dealer. Some even call you two-faced, but let's think positive. It may be that you're too dynamic to settle for simple. Alright, interesting. Yeah, so that's a fun little read there. Okay, and now that both Brady and Simone are gone, we should be able to find quite a bit here in the women's dressing room. Alright, so she is gone. Need to grab that bobby pin for later. And we can snoop around in Simone's bag. So here we have a camera. So we have a Baroque tours. If you ain't Baroque, then take our tours. If you ain't Baroque, take our tours with a curly wig. Chuck's Fried Clucks. He does not look impressed. Alright, so here we have the basement. That's Amazing Monty over in the corner, and you can see where Maya's press pass was found. They took a close-up of it. Here we have Brady posing with it down in the basement, and then they moved to the main theater area, and then up in the balconies. So they turned it into quite the photo op there. And we can check out Simone's PDA. So here we have her calendar. Stevie, Paramount Pictures, lunch date with Brady, pick up dry cleaning, Brady final shoot, and then the cast party. We have emails. Mr. Armstrong, for starters, I'm a huge fan. I've been seeing your movie since I was like 14. To this day, I still think your best performance was in Lie Like a Rug, but who knows? Maybe Vanishing Destiny will top it. Oh, wait. Oh, this was written by Maya. That was absolutely not the right voice to use for her. My bad. I'm in college at Washington University now, and I'm planning to go to your premiere at the Royal Palladium. I'm contacting you because I'm hoping to interview you for an article I'm writing for my school paper. I'm sure you're very busy, but could I stop by your dressing room in the afternoon of the premiere? I only have a few questions. The interview would only take 20 minutes or so. What do you think? Please write back. Yours sincerely, Maya Nguyen. Hi, Maya. Sure, I'd be happy to meet with you as long as we provide any and all photos of me for the article. Also, we need to get a full-page ad for Destiny in your school newspaper. We spoke to advertising and they claim that it's past the deadline. Can you pull a few strings? You know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. What do you say? Look forward to meeting you. Ciao, Brady. Mr. Armstrong, thanks for being so generous with your time. As far as your ad goes, I checked with the advertising guys and they say a deadline's a deadline. Sorry. Don't worry, I'm sure the premiere will sell out. I know tons of people who are going. I'll stop by your dressing room in the afternoon for the interview. See you then. Sincerely, Maya. Dear Brady, my friend Linda said you did all your own dance moves in Dr. Salsa. Is this true? If it is, that's really cool. You were so good in that movie. I watched it 4 times in one day. Will you ever do another movie with Tracy Martin? She is so cool. Right back. Sarah Capsback. Brady, I've written you 22 emails and I haven't heard anything back. Teen Style Magazine says you care about your fans and you're not stuck up. So what's your problem? Write back. If you don't, I'm going to join Leif Jenkson's fan club instead of yours. Your #1 fan, Desi. Hi Brady, I'm writing because I just read an article in PQ magazine that said sometimes men who have ponytails are really just trying to cover up a bald spot. You don't have a bald spot, do you? Please tell. I promise I can keep a secret. Your biggest fan, Xena. No, he doesn't have a bald spot. He has a receding hairline. Hey Brady, what's up? I'm wondering what your next movie is going to be, but also I'm wondering, can you play the guitar? I think you should start a band. I'm in a band. We're called Senator Spanky. Cool, huh? Actually, that's kind of a great name for a band. You should be in one too. I bet you'd rock. Well, I gotta start on my homework. Right back, BB. Hey Brady, as far as dudes go, I'm probably your #1 fan. I'm also a young actor, 12 going on 13, and I'm wondering if you have any tips for me. How did you get discovered? Please help me. Sincerely, J.R. Stetson. P.S. Do you think this is a good stage name? P.P.S. Your ponytail is cool. What kind of hair gel do you use? Alright, and that's that. Okay. So obviously we know that it was Simone that was emailing Maya back, which is probably why Brady had no idea that the interview was even happening. All right, so we have Mama Centric's Wellness Garden, Jake's Talent Farm, Shayna Ramos, Happy Spines, Chiropractic Massage Services, Ezekiel's Martini and Sushi Bar, Georgie Bear, and Ginger's 24-hour Flowerama will arrange all of your innocent flirtations. A funeral wreath. Ribbon rip. Ooh. What would Simone be doing with that in her bag? Unless she sent it and Simone is the kidnapper? Anyway. Now that we have the bobby pin, we are going to go back into the dressing room and pick the lock of that locked drawer over by the mirror.
It's locked.
All right. So it says Stage Technician's Guide. All right. So this explains how to work some of the things up on the stage for one of Houdini's acts and performances that he did. All right, so let's see here if I can remember this all at one time. So we need the power button, left and right faders, lowest positions of those faders, want the magnet button, lift it slightly, let's see here, Wait, isn't there a magnet button I need to press somewhere here? Let's see here. Oh, yep. Lowest position, magnet. Raise them slightly. Click the trapdoor button, and then lock it. All right. Hopefully I took good enough notes. So we'll do that. But I think before we monkey around with that, let's call Eustacia and drop off that phone number that we got right before the press conference. Let's see what she has to say.
Yes, smart Nancy Drew. You're wasting precious time. Stop the demolition or you'll never see her again.
So we had another spooky message from the kidnappers, this time over the PA system. When I was a kid and I played this, that voice terrified me. Alright, so now let's give Eustacia and drop off a call. So now notice her phone number does not appear over here. This is one of the games that you have to write down the phone numbers in order to dial them. Nancy won't automatically do that for you. 3247. All right.
We're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again. This is a recording.
Maybe we don't need the 1 before the 813. Oh, nope. I see what I did. 813. I said 23. 555 3247. There we go.
Yes, hello.
Hello, is this Eustacia and Dropoff?
Who else would it be? Everyone else is dead.
Oh, Mrs. Andropoff, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm trying to find out some information about Harry Houdini. Is it true that you're his cousin?
Who wants to know?
Oh, I beg your pardon. My name is Nancy Drew. I'm a detective working on a case in St. Louis.
Harry was only my cousin by marriage, but my husband is dead, and so is Harry. So I guess that makes me nobody's cousin. Satisfied?
I'm researching Mr. Houdini's ownership of the Royal Palladium Theater. Would you know anything about this?
He owned it. Half of it anyway, for a few months. Then he died. Does that help?
Do you know what happened to his half? Did he sign it back over to J.J. Thompson?
Return it to James Jehoshaphat? Mr. Stupendous? Not on his life. Losing that man was Harry's greatest escape.
Did someone in Houdini's family inherit the theater?
Harry made a plan to give his half of the theater to someone he admired. A young magician, I assume. Perhaps a protege. I remember my husband telling me this.
Can you tell me anything more?
More? I'm 96 over here. I don't exactly have time to burn.
I know it was a long time ago, Mrs. Andropoff, but this is terribly important. My friend is in danger, and finding out what happened to Houdini's half of the theater may be my only hope of saving her.
Call the Library of Congress. Ask about the Houdini collection. There must be something in all of those letters. You tell that Sherman Trout, Eustacia said. You're not dead yet, Shermy, so get up and make yourself useful.
The Library of Congress. You don't happen to have that number, do you?
Well, I should have this letter from Shermy around here somewhere. Cat food coupons. Vincent Jacuzzi repair. Dear Eustacia. Here we go. Library of Congress, Washington, D.C. 202-555-5000.
Thanks, Mrs. Andropoff. You've been a great help.
Save it for my funeral.
So she's a fun one. All right, and she gives us another phone number. So now we're gonna call the Library of Congress.
Manuscripts.
I'm trying to reach Sherman Trout, please.
Speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Mr. Trout. My name is Nancy Drew. I'm a detective working on a case that involves Harry Houdini and the Royal Palladium Theater in St. Louis. Eustacia Andropov recommended I call you.
Ah, yes. Eustacia was most helpful to us when we were assembling our Houdini collection. I presume you'd like to have a look at it?
Yes, please, Mr. Trout. I'm very interested.
Fine. Well, you'll just need to register with the library when you get here and fill out a request for the materials you wish to view. When your request has been processed, the materials will be delivered to one of our reading rooms where you can view them.
Mr. Trout, please let me explain. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to come to Washington, D.C. to do research. I'm hoping you could help me find a document.
Well, Miss Drew, I'm sorry if you have logistical constraints, but please understand my own limitations. The Library of Congress currently holds over 40 million items, contained in 10,000 separate collections. It's the largest and most comprehensive library in the world. I simply don't have time to run research errands for the individual citizens.
Mr. Trout, if I don't solve this case in a matter of hours, the building I'm standing in will be demolished and an innocent 19-year-old girl, a friend of mine, may lose her life. You may be my only hope.
Why is your friend in danger?
She was kidnapped by someone desperate to save this building from demolition.
And what can you possibly be hoping to find in the Houdini collection that would help matters?
Mr. Houdini was part owner of the theater, and I'm trying to find out who inherited his half or what became of it when he died. I'm hoping Houdini might have discussed it somewhere in his personal documents. If I can prove that the current owner is not legally the full owner, then maybe I can get the demolition stopped and save Maya.
I see. Well, this sounds urgent. I suppose I can take a look.
That would be such a help, Mr. Trout. If you find anything, could you overnight it to me at the Royal Palladium?
Well, I certainly can't send you the document itself. It's a historical artifact now. But I could send you a slide. What's the street address there, if I find anything?
It's 1330 Washington Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63101. Please send the package in care of Nicholas Falcone or myself, Nancy Drew. I can't tell you how grateful I am, Mr. Trout. You might just be a lifesaver.
Miss Drew, I assure you, Sherman Trout is a man of his word.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Okay, now that we have all of those conversations done, let's get some sleuthing done. We hadn't looked at this before. Here's a key maker, but it's out of service right now. And Brady Armstrong's Vanishing Destiny cardboard cutout. All right, so the book that we found in the men's dressing room shows us how to do this. So we are going to put in the password here that was written down. So it was 121192, which turns everything on. So we are going to turn the fader power on for the left and right faders. We are going to bring them all the way down. Turn on the magnets, lift them up slightly, turn on the trapdoors, and lock it. And if we did all of that right, now we have 2 cages up on the stage. So now let's go down there and explore that. Also, I have to show you this. How cool does that look? So cool. Okay, anyway. Here we go. Alright, so we're gonna climb up on stage. And climb into one of the cages. And down into the hidden area. Pretty cool. Oh, this one's burnt out. Interesting.
Maya!
Uh-oh. And she's gone! Not only that, but I think we're stuck here now. That's okay. We'll Maybe figure out some way out of here. Thank goodness for trapdoors.
These pieces won't budge.
Where's the butter from last game? Alright. I'll go up.
Help! Is anybody out there?
Who's there?
It's Nancy.
Nancy? For goodness sakes. What are you doing down there? This chair seems to be stuck. Hold on, I'm greasing the wheels here.
I found a secret room under the stage. I've got to check it out.
Magician's room. I swear, Nancy, as long as I've worked here, I've never been able to find my way in there.
I found the door, but the pieces that open the door are stuck.
Here, try this. Hurry.
Peekaboo. Alright, so good old Joseph coming in to save the day again. Now that we have some canned grease here, we can spray that on.
This should loosen things up.
This slider puzzle, and now we can move the pieces around. Okay, so we have to get the rabbit from this side over to the other side. There we go. Alright, so we have a guillotine down here. I don't know why they would have something like that down here, but there you go. Alright, and there's a door. Great tortellini. Betty likes pasta.
She was just here.
So, Mamma Mia Pizzeria.
Her shoe.
She left one of her shoes behind. Alright, so she was just here, but she is not here anymore. Alright.
Rubber is shockproof.
That's a peculiar thing to say, Nancy. With a whole bunch of different magician tools and tricks in there. Alright. Let's see if we can find where Maya went. Okay, so this looks like, you know, let's play the Amazing Monty again. Why not? We're in no hurry, right?
Find the ace of spades. Keep your eye on the card. Oh, too bad. Try again. The hand is quicker than the eye.
Really? Oh, I thought something was going to happen with him. Anyway. Oh, and now that we've done that, the creepy music is gone. My bad. All right.
The gate is electrified.
Keep this door open. It will automatically lock if it closes. Thanks, Joseph. Oh, boy. All right. So, slight noise warning. This noise is not the most pleasant, but we'll get through it quick. Oh boy. Ah. There we go.
Oh, Nancy! Hey!
Didn't see you there.
I think the kidnapper just moved Maya to a new hiding place. Have you seen anything suspicious around here?
Wow, are you sure? I didn't see anything.
I found evidence that will prove that Maya's being held in this building.
Wow! Evidence. Where?
I'll talk to you later. I've got to get a hold of Sergeant Ramsey.
All right. So we have our proof. Maya is in the building. They have to stop the demolition now, or at least delay it. Oh my gosh. There we go. Oh, good gracious. All right. Let's call Mac Ramsey.
St. Louis Police Department.
Missing persons unit, please.
Please hold. Missing persons, this is Ramsey.
Sergeant Ramsey, it's Nancy Drew.
Hi, Miss Drew.
I found Maya.
You found her? So the case is closed.
I found her, and then she disappeared again.
Good grief. This girl's a regular Houdini. All right. What have you got for me?
I found a secret room under the stage. I saw Maya through a peephole, but by the time I got into the room, she was gone. The kidnapper must have moved her.
A peephole, huh? Are you sure you saw her?
Sir, there's evidence. Pizza boxes and one of Maya's shoes. I left everything where it was so you could see for yourself.
So you think the kidnapper's been using this secret room as a base camp? Well, this is very interesting, Miss Drew. It sounds like you've been conducting quite a search.
Now will you please send someone over to investigate?
Yep. Just bear with me while I try to find an available car. Help is on the way, Miss Drew.
Great. Bye.
All right. So there we have it. We have the proof that we needed. Help is on the way. Let's go tell Joseph.
Hi, Nancy. What happened?
I found Maya.
You found her? Oh, that's great. Where is she now?
By the time I got through that door, the room was empty.
Are you sure you didn't just imagine you saw her?
I think the kidnapper moved her, but they left some evidence behind.
Evidence? That should interest the police. Have you called them?
Yeah, they said they'll come check it out, but they may not be able to get here for a while.
I'll wait up for the police. You get some rest, Nancy. You're gonna need it for tomorrow.
Make sure they check that magician's secret room.
All right, and that is a wrap on day 2. All right, and here we see a wrecking ball up front. They're getting ready to demolish the theater. It says, kidnapper demands $50K. The St. Louis Police Department received a call yesterday demanding $50,000 for the return of Maya Nguyen, a 19-year-old Washington University student who disappeared 2 days ago from movie star Brady Armstrong's dressing room at the historic Royal Palladium Theater. The stunning development marks the first significant lead in a mysterious case. Until now, the police have been reluctant to label Nguyen's disappearance as a kidnapping, as there has been no evidence that the girl was taken by force. Nguyen, a reporter for the university Student Life newspaper, was at the theater to interview Armstrong for an article. The call came at 4:36 yesterday afternoon. Due to a distortion device, the police are unable to determine whether the caller was male or female, but they were able to trace the call back to a payphone in Granite City. According to earlier rumors, the alleged kidnapping was motivated by a fanatic's desire to save the Royal Palladium from today's scheduled demolition, but yesterday's caller made no reference to the theater. The police now believe the kidnapper's desperation is financial in nature and will not stop the demolition from proceeding according to schedule. As for the ransom, and that's where it cuts off. So they received a phone call asking for money, and now all of a sudden they do not think that Maya is in the building anymore, and the demolition is going on according to schedule. All right, still no... Brady, you look great, dude. I heart money. You sure do, buddy. Okay. Let's go up and talk to Joseph again. What the hey, Joseph? You said they were gonna find the stuff. You let me down, dude.
Can you believe this ransom demand coming out of thin air?
Do you think it's real?
Apparently, the call came from north of here, a town called Granite City. Personally, I think it's a hoax. But now the police are convinced that Maya's not in this building.
But what about the evidence I found?
Are you sure the pizza boxes were in that magician's room? Because the police couldn't find anything.
That's impossible. Are you sure they looked in the magician's room?
They searched the whole building.
I tell you what, if we figure out who moved those, I'm gonna give them a pizza in my mind.
How could they miss 2 big pizza boxes with leftover pizza inside? What about Maya's shoe?
No trace of that either.
Even without the evidence, that corner of the room had obviously been lived in recently.
Follow your gut, Nancy. If you think Maya's still here, you keep looking for her, you hear?
I got another threat from the kidnapper. That creepy voice came on the PA and told me to stop searching for Maya.
The projection room? But who? Someone must have ducked out of the press conference. I was so busy with crowd control, I didn't even notice.
Joseph, I did some checking. You don't really have any family in Greasewood, do you?
Now what you want to go digging into an old man's life for, Nancy?
Sorry, Joseph, but if you're not going to Greasewood, I have to think maybe you're feeling a little desperate these days. Desperate enough to kidnap someone? You tell me.
Now. I am going to Greasewood, and I'm not desperate. I made up the part about my brother so you wouldn't feel sorry for me. You've got enough to worry about, don't you?
What a sweet guy.
It's only a matter of hours until the demolition. How are you holding up, Joseph?
Oh, fine. Everything's great. Fine. I was up till the wee hours polishing up the lobby. Heck, I'm even fixing to repair the old keymaker so you can give it a whirl. Guess old habits die hard, eh?
Gotta go now.
Bye.
All right. So the police got here and investigated. There was nothing to be found in the magician's room. Couldn't help but notice that Brady was literally right outside. Would have had plenty of time, I'm just saying.
Did you call? What's the story?
Sure did.
Go on, spill it.
She didn't know much, but she gave me the number of this guy at the Library of Congress who has access to the archives of Houdini's letters.
And what did they say?
Sherman Trout is on our side. Keep your eyes peeled for a special delivery.
Way to go, Nancy! You're on fire!
Catch you later.
On the flip side.
All right. So Nicholas is going to be watching for that package. Good deal. Let's talk to Brady. Mr. Charmstrong, I have a question for you.
What are you doing hanging out with that Falcone jerk?
Who are you, my overprotective big brother?
That guy's bad news, and he's certainly not gonna help your credibility with the police.
Don't worry. I don't trust him any more than I trust you, or anyone else around here for that matter.
Just trying to help.
Talk to you later, Brady.
Cool beans.
Yeah, talk to you later, Brady. All right. So, Brady's being all protective. Ooh. You know, I'm just gonna hang out right here. That was questionable. Snap. Falling Klieg light. What do I look like, Rick Arlen? Alright, let's talk to Simone.
How's progress?
I know you sent the funeral wreath. Now where's Maya?
I don't know what you're talking about, Sugar. Listen, the pressure must really be getting to you. I know a top-notch aromatherapist in town, okay? I'll give you her number.
I'm not stressed out. I'm livid. I went through your stuff and I know what you did.
You broke into my personal property? I could have you arrested for that.
Go ahead. Call the police. And while you're at it, why don't you mention that you're the kidnapper?
All right. I sent the stupid wreath, but I'm no kidnapper. I needed something for the cameras, didn't I? And it was a very tasteful arrangement. Should have been for $300. Perhaps I went a little overboard.
Someone should sentence you to 50 years of humanity service, whether you're the kidnapper or not.
Alright, so there you have it. Simone was the person that sent the funeral wreath. All for a photo op. She may be good at her job, but she is an awful person. Okay, Brady, I have he's not here. But his bag is... Okay, side note, I actually really like his bag. I kind of want one. Alright. Pro-gain, extra strength for men, hair growth treatment. Results may occur eventually.
Maya's notebook.
And Maya's notebook. Interesting. Why the Royal Palladium for the premiere of Vanishing Destiny? Was it BA's decision or his agent's? Does he make any of his own decisions? Any history with the Royal Palladium? Research attended benefit last year to save historic theater in LA, the Galaxy. Interest in saving the Royal Palladium? Question mark. Do you believe actors should use their influence to champion political causes? Next project. Where does he see himself in 10 years? Ever done anything he regrets to further his career? Wait till the end, then hit him with the evidence and demand an answer. What evidence, I wonder?
Hey, you.
Don't hey you me, Brady, you rotten fraud.
Huh? I'm afraid you've lost me.
You've been lying to me, playing Mr. Helpful and Concerned all this time. I found her notebook in your bag.
I haven't done anything wrong.
I wonder if the police will agree with that.
Okay, Nancy, here's the deal. My real name is Brady Thompson. Simone pushed for Armstrong, more wholesomely smoldering, she said.
Wholesome my foot.
Wholesome my foot.
I'm Wave of the Future, Inc., the owner of this theater, great nephew of JJ himself.
But you're an actor. Why in the world would you want to bulldoze a theater?
The place is shabby. It needs major repairs. It's a money pit and a has-been. Not the image I want to project.
You can't be serious.
Never underestimate the power of image, Nancy. You are what you project.
So, what's your point?
When people think of Brady Armstrong, they think sparkling white teeth and healthy glow. Success glows. It doesn't crumble and sag. The hero never rides a has-been horse.
But what are you going to do with the site?
When I saw these ritzy theme restaurants popping up all over the country, it hit me like pow. My first original idea. Brady Armstrong's Planet Tinseltown. Can't you see it on the marquee? Grand opening. The lights will say it all.
What does this have to do with Maya?
I've sworn to be the captain of my own destiny. Maya was going to expose me, muck up my name in this controversy. It would have been a dark cloud over the launch of Tinseltown.
And for that, she deserves to be kidnapped?
I didn't kidnap her. I found her notepad in the basement with the press pass. I just thought I'd hang on to it for a few days until the dust settles.
Now's your chance to do the right thing by calling off the demolition.
Sorry, Nancy. Look, you're not thinking clearly. It's obvious she's not in the building. We've searched everywhere.
Call off the demolition! You've got to!
You're the only one who thinks she's here. There's no evidence.
Nicholas thinks she's in the building.
He's an outlaw, and he's using you.
Joseph believes me.
He's a confused old codger.
There was evidence. I found a pizza box and one of her shoes.
Evidence that no one was able to verify. Who's to say you didn't imagine that stuff? Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to rally a wrecking crew.
Brady, no!
What a jerk. Alright, so Brady Armstrong is actually Brady Thompson. He is the owner of the Palladium Theater and is knocking it down to build his own planet Tinseltown. And we cannot convince him to stop the demolition. Ugh.
Nancy, we could be golden! A package just came from that museum. We may have the goods to stop this demolition dead in its tracks. Check the ticket booth.
Okay, so we got the package we were waiting for. Racing against the clock. Not quite yet, but still. Alright. Dear Miss Drew, I couldn't find anything written in Mr. Houdini's own hand, but I did find this letter addressed to Mr. Houdini from a close colleague and friend. It seems to hint at the information you require. I hope that this package has arrived in time to be useful to you. Dutifully yours, Sherman Trout. Okay. So we have the slide. Let's go up to the projection and see if we can do something with it. Actually, before we do that, now that we have Brady's pencil, we can use it to shade and see the shape of the projector key. So we're going to need that here shortly. So a long and a short and 2 thick ones, 3 all together, and then 1 with a bite taken out of it. All right. Nope. There we go. All right. Let's go over to our handy dandy key maker here.
I need a coin.
Okay, so we're going to put that in. All right, so we need a long and a short, and then 2 thick ones, 3 all together, and 1 with a bite out of it. And there's our key. Okay. So now let's go back up to the projection booth and see if we can find our evidence.
Hello? Hello?
Had to mess with the microphone, sorry. Okay, so we're going to put... Whoop. Well, that's not good.
I should switch the power off.
Change out that light bulb. And as soon as we grab this slide, we will be on the countdown.
Okay, officers, this is our final sweep. In a matter of minutes, this building will be nothing but a pile of rubble.
Okay, so we have to hide. We can't be taken out. We're so close.
See anything, Dino? All clear in here, Sarge.
Okay. Never mind the fact that running the projector is absolutely going to draw some attention. Let's turn this on. Oh, actually. Get our slide in here. There we go. Oh, too far. All right, dear Harry, how's tricks? Not that I need to ask. I've seen the papers, and I know that you're dazzling the crowds wherever you go. I received your letter, and I must say I'm very intrigued by your plans. This Thompson character sounds slippery indeed. If you want to disentangle yourself from him, and you have the opportunity to do a good deed at the same time, I say bravo. What a windfall for a struggling young artist to inherit 50% ownership of a thriving theater like the Royal Palladium. But who is this mysterious beneficiary of yours? A magician, I assume. But where in the world would you come across a woman magician? I've never even heard of one. Is she talented? Once again, your generosity is unsurpassed. I commend your noble heart and look forward to seeing you at the Princess in Montreal. It will be an auspicious reunion. All the best, your friend and colleague, Dizzy Notion. Which is one of the magicians that we get to see his picture up on the walls in the hallway. Ugh. Okay, let's grab that. What's this?
Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Is this thing on? Hello?
What?
Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Is this thing on? Hello?
Why would Joseph have a recording of him doing a mic test? And a voice swap? he wasn't in here, then that means he doesn't have
another
an alibi.
secret passageway. I should switch the power off.
Hey, Nancy, I've been looking for you.
How did you avoid the police?
I've decided I need to get organized, Nancy. Tomorrow I'm really gonna straighten up in here.
I'd say death by wrecking ball and or felony kidnapping charges rank higher on your list of problems than office clutter at the moment, Joseph.
I think a fresh coat of paint would really cheer things up, don't you?
I know it's you, Joseph, but why? Were you trying to buy some time so the Historical Society could declare the theater a landmark or something?
Do you think the premiere will sell out?
Snap out of it. Just tell me where Maya is.
Don't tell him she's here, Nancy. I'll take her away and knock down the theater.
We're gonna knock it down anyway. Please, we don't have much time.
Don't tell him, Nancy.
I'm locked in.
He locked us in. So it was Joseph, sweet, lovable, wonderful, kind Joseph this whole time. Thankfully, there's a ladder we can go up. And that key we found in the magician's, or not the magician's, the men's dressing room opens us up right here. And also, if you'll notice down here, we have a countdown clock now. All right. So it says, Dear Hiram, the Festival of Illusions begins next week and every show is sold out. If the public finds out that Houdini has ditched the theater and that I'm now in business with some anonymous woman artist, I'm liable to have a public mutiny on my hands. More importantly, I stand to lose a lot of money. I have no idea how Houdini ever heard the name Louisa Falcone in the first place, but I'd like to wring the neck of the fella who mentioned her. I've got Houdini's paperwork here, and I plan to sit on it until the festival is over. Houdini's on the road anyway. By the time he gets back, it'll all be settled. Thanks for your cooperation. Sincerely, JJ. Whereas J.J. Thompson, owner of the Palladium Theater and resident of St. Louis, Missouri, had signed over 1/2 ownership in said property to Harry Houdini as a reward for Mr. Houdini's successful escape from the watery grave. And whereas Mr. Houdini has made the acquaintance of Louisa Falcone of St. Louis, Missouri, the artist responsible for all of the ornamental plasterwork inside the theater, and whereas Mr. Thompson never delivered payment to Madame Falcone for her services rendered, and whereas the actions of Mr. Thompson in failing to deliver payment or credit Madame Falcone in any way for her work constitute fraudulent and immoral actions, and... Hey, excuse me, I wasn't done with that. Whereas Mr. Houdini is of the utmost and honest character, therefore it be resolved by the 3 parties whose signatures appear below that by any property rights, inclusive and appropriate, of the Palladium Theater vested in Mr. Houdini's interests be transferred to Madame Louisa Falcone in recognition for her unpaid services to Mr. J.J. Thompson. And then it has their signatures. So the theater half that Houdini owned was transferred over to Louisa Falcone. This is huge. Right. There we go. We're in. And we found Maya.
Hang on, Maya. I'll get you out of there.
Okay. So let's see here. We have a sledgehammer. That should work, right? Bust it open.
Hang on, Maya. I'll get you. Hang on, Maya. I'll get you out of there.
Call me Paul Bunyan Nancy Drew. Okay, so that didn't work. What about this hacksaw? That should work, right?
3 minutes till demolition.
What about this? I'll just hack the hinges off.
This is useless.
Well, of course it is, Nancy. You're trying to cut through the glass.
This is useless.
Ugh, okay.
Not so fast,
useless.
Detective.
Joseph, please let me past.
I can't let you do this, Nancy.
I'm warning you. I still got a trick or 2 up my sleeve.
We're going down in a blaze of glory.
Joseph, you can go down in a blaze of glory if you want, but Maya and I are not coming with you.
You've cracked your last case.
Joseph, this is far from over. Now step aside.
It's all over now.
We've still got time for a grand finale here, Joseph.
I never meant for it to turn out this way.
All right, so Joseph is not moving.
This is useless.
Cannot get him to step aside. That's okay. We'll get him to move in a flash.
Ah! That light!
Look! The marquee! Stop the demolition!
Dear Bess, I still can hardly believe that Joseph, sweet old Joseph, was Maya's kidnapper. He says he planned to kidnap Brady with the idea that Simone could use her Hollywood connections to save the theater. But when Maya entered the dressing room, he panicked and grabbed her instead. Plan B was to stall the demolition long enough for the Historical Society to declare the building an official landmark. I guess he's been at the Royal Palladium for so long, he just couldn't imagine his life without it. But desperation aside, poor Joseph wasn't cut out for a life of crime, and pretty soon things were spinning out of his control. Simone's publicity stunts didn't help. At least he was courteous and kind to Maya through the whole thing. Her testimony should help him in court. The good news is that the Royal Palladium is still standing. Once he heard that Nicholas would inherit his grandmother Louisa's 50% of the theater, Brady decided he'd better find another site for Planet Tinseltown. In order to make amends for things, and because he needed some good publicity, Brady donated his half of the theater to the St. Louis Historical Society. Together with Hadit, they should have this place restored to its original glory in no time. Not such a happy ending for Simone, I'm afraid. She received an official reprimand from the National Press Corps for her stunt with the wreath. Still, knowing Simone, she'll be back at the top of her game in no time. So, here ends the longest 3 days of my life. The premiere of Vanishing Destiny is back on. But I think this detective is going to wait for it to come out on videotape. Talk to you soon. Love, Nancy.
And that is a wrap on Nancy Drew number 5, the final scene. I absolutely love the ending of this game. I think it was so masterfully done that at the beginning of the game, we heard Joseph doing his MC mic testing spiel that he does. So really, as a player, if you haven't played this game before, that really lends to Joseph's credibility of not really being a suspect. We could hear him over the intercom system. Clearly, it wasn't him. But then when that focus knob falls down below the panel in the projection room and we find that cassette tape and we press play and we realize that Joseph does not have an alibi and he absolutely could have done it. That is just goosebump inducing for me. It is so well done. And the fact that Joseph is so helpful and kind to Nancy throughout the game. I mean, the first time I played this, I did not suspect Joseph once. Absolutely masterfully done. 10 out of 10. All of the praise and kudos and applause for HerInteractive for this game. It's so well done. It really, really is. So fun little piece of trivia here for you on the screen right now. Bess Marvin was voiced by the one and only Punchy LaRue in this game, which if you've played Nancy Drew Phantom of Venice, which we will be playing eventually on this channel, you should recognize that name. But yeah, this wraps another Nancy Drew playthrough for me. I had so much fun playing through this with you, and I am so glad I am able to share it because this is genuinely one of my favorite games. It doesn't matter how many times I play it, I absolutely love it. So thank you so much for watching another episode of Sleuthy Teacher Plays. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know down in the comments below who is your favorite character in this game. The characters in this game are a lot of fun, and I'm curious. I want to know what you think. But that wraps up everything for me here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay sleuthy.